But you don't have to have cameras on, by the way, guys, if you don't want to. It's up to you. There hopefully will be time if you want to have questions at the end for questions, but we'll see. As I said, I'm gonna get my auctioneer voice on and get through this pretty well. Hi Jim, welcome. Thank you for coming. But cool. I think we'll kick off. This is a Vicky special down here on the left. You'll see many more coming through. It's because it says hello. So that was optimistically hoping that someone was here, but you're here, so that's good. So, webinar number one in this kind of series that we're going to be doing. So it is all leading towards something called ZenOpticks, which Urosh and I have been working on. And more details on that will be revealed soon. But basically, we're trying to get you towards that perfect operational company with reaching Zen through all of our fix and flow and all of those nice things that we do. So this session today is all about vision without execution is just a dream. And so what does that mean? It just means that we have ideas all the time, we have visions within our company, and we kind of think we want to do X, Y, Z, but without execution, without a good system in place, we're never going to get there. We're never going to be able to get to where we want to get to with our vision when we start our company. Our business plan will just sit within Notion or within a Word doc and just gather dust, as we would say. So we want to be able to make sure that our vision is going well and we're executing on it. And the best thing that we can do about that is to use ops to go and achieve it. So we'll turn strategy into action through OKRs, which are objectives, key results, and regular reviews. So the whole point of this presentation will be to have a look at that. So firstly, who is this person talking to you? My name is David and I'm founder of Optics. And so we founded Optics as an operations agency where we could help more businesses with systems, processes, procedures, and all that really fun stuff that no one ever wants to do. But we know it's key and we should be doing it to make sure that our business can scale and grow. Or we can take a day off a week, or we can just spend some more time with our kids. All of this good stuff is facilitated through being able to systemize our businesses. And why does this topic specifically matter to you? And it doesn't matter if you're a single solo entrepreneur running your business on your own or if you've got a team of 50 people. This is relevant because it will help you put in a structure where you can say, I want to go and do this, and this is how we get there. So from getting from A to B, using the power of OKRs and then doing regular reviews, we're just going to show you a really good system in how we can get there. And the key takeaways will be crafting, communicating vision, and values, implementing OKRs at both leadership and team level. And again, doesn't matter if it's just you, you're the team, you're the leader. And framework for strategy reviews. So we're looking back on it as well. So making sure we're always continuously getting better, or the Kaizen concept from Japan and Toyota. So firstly, when we come up with a strategy, we might have a strategy gap. So we've got a big bold vision over here, and we've just got inconsistent execution over here. And so our fix for that is operationalized strategy. I don't know if I've just made that word up, but it's a word now, so that's great. We might have to coin it. But putting in an operational strategy and how we're going to get there to fill this gap is the key. And so one of my favorite quotes at the minute was from Charlie Munger, and he says, the company that needs a new machine but hasn't bought it yet is already paying for it. So if you've got this big gap and you don't want to fill it because that'll take time and money potentially, you're already paying for this big gap because you're not getting towards the vision that you've set out. So you need to get on that and start to fix it. And hopefully we'll show you how today. So craft mission, vision, and values that drive action. So my animations are messed up here, but never mind. So we've got vision, which is the where. The mission is the why, and the values is the how. So what we're going to do to bring all these bits together is just gold in the middle here. So OKRs and the strategy that we're going to look at brings everything together so that you can act in one way, which is going towards that gold of getting towards your vision, executing on your mission, and using the values to get there, most importantly. This isn't fluff, by the way. So when I sometimes talk to some more old school, I guess, companies, they're like, oh no, vision, mission, that's all fluff, just to tell people nice things. Values, just a bunch of words that we put on the wall and make posters out of them. So the office looks nicer. It's not fluff. This is important, and these are the things that help you make decisions when you're lost. And so, like, as a business owner myself, often I'm thinking, what am I going to do? How am I going to get to this point? I've got a new revenue target. How am I going to get there? I always come back to these three things and kind of go, right, okay, how am I going to achieve this? What do I need to put in place? Why am I doing it on the hard days? And then the values just kind of steer me in the right direction. So from vision to strategy, create your strategic pillars firstly. So this is your vision and it's held up by a bunch of pillars. So we'll have a look at what these could be, but these are your focus areas basically when you're looking at how to fill that gap between your vision and you want to get to strategy and execution. So your vision sits on top of these pillars and they're held up very securely here. And so an example would be the world's best agency, whatever that agency is. So we've got the four pillars, and we might say we're going to focus on customer success and retention. We're going to focus on scalable systems and ops. We're going to focus on team culture and alignment and product or service innovation. And so these pillars basically make up our business in terms of what we want to focus on to be able to get to our vision. So these start to form the framework of how we're going to get there, how we're going to execute this vision, and these are the pillars that we're going to focus on. Each of these pillars has a champion or an owner. So if you have a team, you can allocate that and delegate it out, which is strongly encouraged. If you don't, and it's just you, then you're the champion of these areas, but make sure you create a budget. So in terms of money, if you've got a team and if you don't have a team, but more importantly, if you're on your own in terms of time. So delegate the importance of these. So they might be different percentages that you think there are important to you. And then you can review those percentages every quarter, every month, whatever you want to do, and say, okay, this is more important now because I'm realizing that this thing is much more important. So for example, scalable systems and ops, I'm seeing that I never have time to go and execute or do delivery. So therefore, I need scalable systems and ops this quarter to be able to go and do better things. So change up your percentages of what you're looking at in terms of your budget and also the key results. So each one of these is going to have an objective and a key result underneath it. So you just need to define what those are, which we'll do next. Enter the OKRs, the engines for strategic execution. So what I always hear when I talk about measuring things, and I always say like you manage what you measure. So whatever you're looking at in detail, whatever your focus goes, your energy flows. So if you're managing something, if you're measuring something, sorry, you're managing it. And the vehicle to do that most typically are KPIs, so key performance indicators. And we hear those a lot in jobs that we've had in the past or in our own business or wherever you go to. Have KPIs. You can probably see some on the wall here for me. But what people always say to me, like, they're too stringent. We've tried them, no one liked them in the team. I always put them in place, set targets, and just never do them because I'm just like, forgot all about them. I forgot they existed. So that's where OKRs come in our perspective. So OKRs are built a little bit differently. They kind of take in more of the non-fluffy stuff, but they take in your vision, mission, and values, and you create some objectives, and they go to the key results. This is where the animations have let me down here. But the OKRs, objective, key results. So you have one objective and up to 3 to 4 key results alongside that. So inspire, measure, deliver is what we kind of go through as a cascade. We have the objective. So this aligns with your vision. So whatever your vision is, your objective will align with that within that pillar. We'll have a look at examples in a minute. Inspires you or the team. So that objective has to be something that is going to be inspiring. It's like, I want to go and do this. So instead of having a KPI, which is a target number on the board, and you've got loads of green, hopefully, or red, maybe, indicators if you're hitting it or not, this objective is more inspiring than just a number target. You can go and hit this objective, and it will make a meaningful change and go towards your vision. And it's understood by everyone, which is one of the most important things, I think. If you've got like a KPI, it might not mean anything. It might not be relevant to everybody. And so, for example, like one company I worked in before, their main driver was their revenue. They have revenue targets, but they never told that to anyone because people don't care. Because their employees are just going to get paid at the end of the month. It doesn't matter if they are 10% behind the revenue or 10% above it. They're going to get paid. It might matter to their bonus, but they didn't really understand it. And so objectives need to be understood. And so objectives can be dialed back to someone's specific role or your vision and be understood easier. The key results, they're easily measurable, so they don't get too complex in some kind of weird and funky spreadsheet. At a glance metric, so you can see really quickly like, oh, that means that. Okay, again, easily understood, easily measurable. and they focus on many components. So they can bring in lots of different things. So for example, if one of your key results is to get 3 new clients this month, that goes into many different components. So that goes into your monthly revenue, recurring revenue targets if you're getting retainers. That goes into loads of different things as well, like your delivery targets, how quickly you can deliver, that goes into that. Initiative to deliver. And so this is kind of like the vehicle, the fuel of how you're going to get there. And so focused deliverable. So something that is going to be like, this is what we're going to do. It feeds the mission. So the why are we doing this? Feeds that perspective. And it's delivered by the vision. So whatever your vision is, it's delivered by that. And it's also the values come into this as well. So as you can see here, the destination and milestones are these two. So this is where we're going, and these are the milestones. And then the fuel and vehicle, as I've just said, is the initiative to deliver. So a real world example. So our pillar here is scalable systems and ops within this best agency in the world. The objective, streamline internal operations to boost delivery efficiency and client experience. So as you can see, that's kind of like an objective, a target that's going to improve our business, basically, within this pillar. The key results, we want to reduce average project delivery time from 6 weeks to 4 weeks. We want to achieve greater than 90% client satisfaction score on post-project surveys, and we want to complete automation of 4 recurring admin processes, e.g. onboarding or any other boring admin stuff that we have to do. So all of these things feed into this objective, and all of these things feed into this pillar. And all of those things feed into our vision of having the best agency possible. The initiative to deliver these things, so there'll be a few, and I've just picked up on ops here. So the ops team or your ops allocated time in your week, whatever, map and design current project workflow in ClickUp. And so this one feeds into here. So you're optimizing this reduced project delivery time from 6 to 4 weeks because you're mapping out and redesigning where can you get some kind of quick wins, automation, anything like that. Building SOPs for onboarding, feedback, and reporting. That means you're going to be better consistently at delivering these things, and you can also delegate them to other people so you can get them done quicker, therefore reducing your project delivery time. You can have things like the PM will, at the project manager at the end of the project, will go and ask the client for their satisfaction score or an NPS and see what that is. So there's another initiative, and then you look at those results and see how you can improve them, or you look at the feedback and see how you can improve that. So initiatives off of those initiatives as well. So with all good things, there are some common pitfalls with OKRs. So you put the key results, but not the objectives. So you say to yourself, I want to get 3 new clients this month. Why? What's the objective? What are you trying to achieve with that? So what's it linking back to? So that could be you want to get a 20 grand month this month, for example, whatever. So that's the objective. Key result is 3 new clients. So you know that that's going to feed back into that. So people often put the key results down, and that's what people mostly do with KPIs. People write KPIs down with no clear objective. They're just like, I want to measure this because I think it's important. For example, like, I don't know, it might just be me being weird, but when I was a kid, like you run up some stairs and you count the amount of stairs. Like, why are you counting that? This doesn't mean anything. When you go into the tube station, there's like, this stairwell has this many stairs. Cool, okay. Doesn't achieve anything, but it just tells me it's going to be a long slog upstairs. So make sure that they're kind of the key results have an objective. Why are we measuring these things? You put in too many key results. So we said 3 to 4 is ideal. If you've got too many key results, it kind of gets lost in everything you're trying to do, and there's too many things to deliver, and people and yourself will be like, I don't want to do that. That's too much work. That's why KPIs often fail, because you've got like a big spreadsheet of KPIs and you just don't want to look at it. The objective, the key result, or the initiative don't have an owner. And so this is one we often see within businesses, bigger businesses with teams and stuff. They don't assign something to the team. So often we'll see the bottleneck is the founder of the business. It's always the way. The founder has all of the SOPs in their head. They have what they want to go and achieve, their mission, vision, and they know it. Like they live it and breathe it, but they never translate that to the team. The first step of doing that is to give the objectives and the key results when using OKRs an owner, and hopefully it's not you. If it is you, sometimes that'll be fine if you're just a solo entrepreneur. If you've got a team, give it an owner. Even if it's you, give yourself that kind of responsibility to go and do those objectives and key results. And another pitfall, you set them up and then just forget they exist. And we'll show you a technique of how we can stop forgetting they exist. But also, as we said with KPIs, we just set them up and we go, yeah, cool, I'm organized, but we just forget they are even there and why we set them up in the first place. So some of these to question our pitfalls. Remember the why. So measure something with and on purpose. So why are we doing this? What's our mission? What's our vision? This is the why. Like we want to measure this thing to get to a certain point, and measuring it will help us focus on it, therefore improve it. Limit to 3 to 5 should be key results, as to not get lost in data. So we don't want to get lost in too many data points. And then we track it weekly or monthly or review quarterly. So reviewing quarterly is a lot less admin, obviously. But we're tracking it weekly and monthly. So we're making sure that we're on top of looking at those key results, going, right, okay, what have we achieved? What else do we need to do? Do we need to change our initiative? And we can act and pivot quite quickly, but reviewing it quarterly will give us that bigger plan and help work in bigger blocks, and we can break that down into the initiatives for weekly and monthly as well. And adopting OKRs into the continuous improvement and rhythm of your business. And so when we say rhythm, I enjoy this because it's kind of like the weekly and the monthly things that I set up in my diary. So I always time block time to go and make sure I look at these things every week on a Friday afternoon, for example. And I'll log these things and go, right, okay, that was this week. Next week we need to improve, or we've hit our target for this week. What else can we do next week, etc. And so just looking at those things, dedicating time, putting it into the rhythm of your weeks, months, quarters, just makes everything like flow a lot more, really. Now, this is all great. How do I adopt this, Dave? Live your values. So whatever values you set out, so even if they're personal, if you've got a solo business, your business will probably reflect your personal values of wanting to help people or wanting to do a good job, add extra value, stuff like that. So live your values within the company, and that will get you to them. Systemizing them as well. So this whole OKR process will systemize your values. So you're taking your values and using them as the how you're going to deliver those initiatives, how you're going to deliver the why and the what of the mission and the vision. So for example, delivery. Does my method of delivery reflect my values? If not, change it. Retrospectives. How do we do it? Did we achieve the OKR and stay true to the values? So when we're looking at these two things, we want to reflect it back to these values. Are we still nailing those? And then hiring process. Are they, enter your company name here, person? Like, are they that kind of person? When we hire this person, we're looking for these values. Are they that kind of person? So all of these decisions you can retract back to your vision, your mission, and your values to make sure that you're still staying true to your business. So optics hours are honesty, efficiency, extra value, never being bored, and always being nice. And I agree, these two sound a little bit fluffy, but like I said earlier, they're not. They all reflect into what we do, which is what we try and do. This one's my favorite, extra value. I always want to make people go, oh wow, that's cool, when they weren't really expecting something to happen or an automation to be done or for them to save hours of their week or something. So the quarterly review framework. So how do we make sure we're staying on top of this? So Q1, this is how we get to have a look at it. So we plan at the start, we execute through the middle, and then we review and adapt at the end. Q2, we do exactly the same thing. Oops. There we go. So every single quarter we're doing the same thing. So I've not put Q3 and Q4 on just so I didn't have to click like this. But the key to all of this is to systemize this kind of whole process. So systemizing this process means that if you have a ClickUp, Asana, anything, a calendar, just put these dates into your calendar. Like I said, with my time blocking every week, this is just extrapolating it over a quarter. So I have a session every quarter to plan the OKRs or the initiatives or what we're going to do. And then we execute throughout the whole thing. And so if you're putting it into a project management tool, you can start to build projects off of these plans. So you've got how to execute it written down for you as tasks, and you see how you're getting on. At the end of it, have a review session planned into your calendar, planned into your ClickUp. And then off that review session, we'll have how to adapt. So we'll have the retrospective notes. What do we do well? What do we do badly? What are we going to change? And here are the actions and also the owners. Make it your culture to do this. So this culture basically is continuous improvement. So you're always just looking at how we can get better, and that is never a bad thing. OKR scorecards. So each review we can do a scorecard in terms of like, okay, how did that go? Which of the key results did we go and smash? So we can put like a percentage against it or a score out of 10 against it. And then again, that gives us a quantitative measure so we can have a look in the next quarter and say, cool, we got, I don't know, 80% last quarter. We got 70 this one. What's gone wrong? How can we improve? So learning and improving. SWOT, so that is strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats. So that's always quite good to do when you're planning because you can have a look at what you're good at, what you're weak at, opportunities that exist in your market, and then the threats that might be coming, and you can kind of action towards those if you want to. Again, staying true to your values. The most important thing is to involve everybody. So if that means that you've got a team, involve everybody in these planning sessions because they are going to be executing it for you. So they need to be invested and know that they were part of the whole of the vision. If it's just yourself, perhaps just replay this to someone who is like a friend who has a business or anybody who has an interest in your business. Have an advisor, have a business coach, involve them because then they can just come in and tell you if you're potentially wide of the mark. If you're not staying true to your values because you've lost that, if you're not going towards your vision, they can tell you because sometimes as a business owner, you can really get lost within the weeds. Putting that all together. So here's an example of complete world domination that we can have a look at. So our pillars for this, four of them. So mass influence and propaganda. If we want to take over the world, we have to influence a lot of people and have a lot of propaganda out there. Military and technological supremacy, so we need to be able to defend ourselves. Surveillance and compliance, so make sure everybody's doing the right things and what we want them to do. Develop loyalty, so people are actually bought into your vision of complete world domination. The OKRs and initiatives for that. So we've chosen the mass influence and propaganda pillar to have a look at, so the sector that we want to look into for the OKRs. The objective is to control global narratives through media, culture, and misinformation. And when I was writing all this down, it was a bit freaky that you actually do see this occurring in the world right now, probably in the US. Sorry if there's anyone on from the US. But it is scary that you do see these things because it's ringing a little bit too true for me. The key results that you want to have: acquire and infiltrate 90% of global news and social media platforms. Replace 50% of curriculums with loyalty-focused history. Launch one viral meme campaign per month, boosting your benevolence rating. How nice you look. And the initiatives we could use there are deepfake weekly fireside chats with puppies, so you look like a really nice person and you're good at tech as well. Launch TikTok trend, Pledge for David, where people might like, I don't know, when they had like a neck nominate or something like that, they might drink a pint in honor of me. I don't know. Or ban sarcasm about the regime, except when it's ironic, because then it's funny. So let's look at a proper example, maybe. So this is us. Popularize optics. Sorry, this is popularize ops being key for business growth and scale. It's actually make ops sexy, but every time I say that, my wife cringes. So I've stopped saying that around the house. The pillars that we have three. So we have delivery systemization, brand and authority building, and then client growth for social proof. So for an OKR, we've chosen pillar two, delivery systemization. The objective here is to systemize core delivery to reduce David dependency, I've named it, and improve client consistency so I don't have to do all the work, but the team get to do it as well. So the key results here are to deliver 100% of fix and flow projects within the next quarter via SOPs without final involvement. Reduce average delivery time from 6 to 4 weeks and achieve a 9 out of 10 average post-project client rating. So the initiative deliver that, finalize SOPs for delivery, so people can do it without me, delegate 100% of execution to delivery team using ClickUp, and then set up internal QA checkpoints and retrospectives, reviews, templates, etc. so we can always keep on top of it. Then my review is the same as before. So we plan in Q1, execute, review, adapt, retrospective agenda, what did we do well, didn't do well, what are we going to adapt, who owns those actions, all those actions we're going to ClickUp. Q2, we do exactly the same thing. And remember, it doesn't matter if you don't hit 100% of your key results within this OKR structure. You're still moving towards your vision. You're still moving towards what you're trying to achieve as a business owner. You're still achieving, basically. And you've moved the needle just a little bit, whatever you do. Even if you don't hit what you want to hit, you're still moving in the right direction. And that's 2 minutes left. Good timing. But that's all. I used this sheet just for context because I hadn't used it and I enjoy it. Thanks, Vicky. We do free ops audits. And so if you want to book on, this is the QR code. Or you can find a link anywhere. We do things on our website and stuff. But the free ops audit is an hour of either my time or Orish's time. And what we do is we sit with you and we go, okay, what's your biggest bottleneck? And we understand your business more. And then we'll give you a solution on the call. Like, no, we're not salespeople, we're ops people. So we'll give you that solution to go and fix it. And that might be OKRs. And if it is, then you don't need us because you just had this session. But if you need more information, then we can do that as well. But yeah, there was a slot, I think 2 slots next week, and then the week after is more free. So yeah, book on if you want a free ops audit. But that's it really, with 1 minute. Yeah, that's it. 1 minute to go.